2 decades as interpreters, providing a vital service for Allied troops.
Yeah, now the Afghan translators are finally getting what many say is their due right, being allowed to settle in the UK free from the threat of Taliban attacks.
The first translators arrived today in what's been described as the biggest evacuation to Britain in nearly 50 years.
Well, joining us now is Shabnam Nasimi, Chief Executive of Conservative Friends of Afghanistan. Shabnam, this is great news. It must be delightful to see these people who have stood shoulder to shoulder with our British troops in Afghanistan finally getting what many people have said they've waited a long time for.
Oh, absolutely. I understand that almost 3,500 Afghans who worked for for Britain's armed forces during the last 20 years will be relocated to the UK before September 11th withdrawal of British and US troops. And I think, as Tom Tugendhat this morning tweeted, these interpreters showed incredible courage working alongside British troops that saved lives. They've more than earned a home safe from fear. And this is allowing people into the UK for safety, people who have helped and supported the UK government, and I'm very pleased to hear that the UK is meeting this moral obligation to protect those and help them build a new life in this country.
It's a moral obligation because of the risk that they were under after the UK troops left. I'm just wondering what sort of stories you've been hearing about the tension that there's been before they were able to get to the UK.
The situation in Afghanistan is very difficult at the moment. I understand that the new government policy does state that anyone, current or former locally employed staff who were assessed and deemed to be under serious threat from the Taliban will be offered a fast-track UK visa application service. And the Defence Secretary Ben Wallace actually said recently that with Western powers leaving Afghanistan, the threat is increasing, including targeted attacks by the Taliban. But it isn't just interpreters who've risked their lives due to supporting the UK government to promote peace and stability in Afghanistan. Locally employed staff working for British charities, embassies, and other government bodies such as the British Council are also at risk. The Taliban don't differentiate anyone who's shown to have worked for foreign governments, whatever your position may have been, and it is sparking great fear amongst Afghans that once the West do leave, and particularly the UK, that the Taliban will take over control. One of my friends in Afghanistan who reached out to me last week, she's a British citizen working in Kabul, and she's informed me that someone who had worked with her as a contractor for the British Council is now trapped and targeted by the Taliban. The situation is getting worse day by day, and so many who have worked to support UK's intentions in terms of promoting freedom, peace and security, and now directly targeted, particularly those working in the media. One of the biggest achievements for Afghanistan over the last 20 years has been the development of free speech in the media, and that has directly been targeted now with NATO's and US decision to leave. And I think we've also got to look at the wider picture of this as well. Joe Biden wanting to leave withdraw American forces out by September 11th this year, with most expected to leave earlier than that. Only in the past few weeks, Taliban have seized almost 50 local districts across Afghanistan. Fighting has intensified across the country, raising fears of a Taliban return. Many European officials have said that they're quite frustrated by what they saw in terms of Biden's decision to inability to sufficiently consult with allies and NATO ahead of the announcement to leave. And Ben Wallace also said, he echoed that he was very regretful with the decision to withdraw forces without setting any conditions on the Taliban. We've had 20 years of investment and billions in aid and countless lives lost. And for many Afghans, the situation is particularly the security is very volatile, and this is not, in my personal opinion, shouldn't be what we show in terms of what we've been able to, and what stage we've left Afghanistan. We have a responsibility to protect not only those who worked with British forces, but also
Shabnam,
ensure that when we leave, we're leaving responsibly.
Thank you very much, Shabnam Nasimi. Really good to talk to you. Thank you on this big day for people who've served alongside British troops in Afghanistan. Thank you.
Now, as always, we want to hear from you and let you join in the conversation. So